Chapter 21. Rosner is glad he never learned the thief's name. Turns out he was just a pawn for the less experienced fighters. There is no arguing it either. He watched them drag his body past his cell. It still hurts to see his body. But if he knew his name, it would make watching so much harder. They never bothered giving him a cell. They just threw him in right when they arrived. The cell Rosner is in is made of compact dirt on three sides with a stone bed. The chamber pot sits in one corner. Steel bars keep him enclosed on the fourth side. It is not long before they come for him as well. A red orc with a ring of keys is accompanied by an elite. When the door swings open, the elite reaches in, grabs Rosner, and throws him into the hallway. Rosner bites back a retort. He is in no position to cause trouble. Do that now, and they might schedule a fight he has no chance of winning. He walks past rows of cells with a large collection of creatures among them. The general races of humans, orcs, dwarves, and elves are present in multitude, but there are also centaurs, minotaurs, trolls, griffins, basilisks, and many others he did not get a proper look at. In between each cell is a sconce with a lit torch set in it. The hallway is packed dirt as well. It is not long until they reach an arms room. The red orc instructs him to pick a weapon. But if you try anything, he warns, pointing a thumb to the elite, this guy will kill you, here and now. Rosner ignores him. They do not try to hide the fact that they are not afraid to kill anyone. It is what he expected, so there is no use working himself over the oak's words. He picks up a longsword and weighs it in his hand. He puts it down and grabs another, doing the same thing. After the third one, the orc steps forward. This is not a shopping spree, he grumbles. No more choosing. You are using this one. For the briefest moment, Rosner thinks about turning and skewering the orc. But, seeing as that is a terrible idea, given his situation, he nods and walks towards the opposite door, built of heavy oak and reinforced with steel. The orc opens the door, letting in the bright light from the life-giver, and the elite shoves him through. Rosner shakes in his bed. He has to survive. At this point, he has lost track of the days that have passed. Has it been a cycle? 5? He has to continue surviving. Even if it means he has to continue killing. He has to save his brother. What about Asra? He does not know anything about her whereabouts. Should he be worried about her as well? Rosner tries to sleep, but his mind runs rampant. He turns on his bed and stares through the bars into the dim-lit hallway. It does not matter where she is at. So long as he remains here, he cannot do either any good. And there is no way to escape. He has searched repeatedly. And even if he did escape, he would have, or rather, someone else, quickly found out the place has various enchantments placed throughout the structure. An elven man thought he could escape after he picked his lock not too far down from Rosner. As soon as he crossed the threshold, flames shot from the ground and engulfed him. He can still smell the burnt corpse. Memories of all his battles in this wretched place play out before him. The near-death experiences, the misfortunes of others as they fall to his hand. At first, he tried to spare those he fought, but most asked for death, said it was merciful. Others were killed by soldiers anyway. All this death has gotten to Rosner. He feels like he is going insane. He feels weak. He has not been here half as long as others, Yet this is how he feels. Maybe he will lose his feelings at some point. He would be a mindless creature, but he would not have to deal with the pain. Or maybe in the next fight, he should just let his opponent slay him. If that happens, could he escape death and wander as a spirit? Would he still be able to help his siblings? He does not know when it happens, but eventually sleep befalls him, and the memories he was reliving while he was awake turn into nightmares as he sleeps. Rosner walks through the door to the arena, bearing his leather half-breast armor, loincloth, longsword, and round shield. The life-giver blinds him as the light reflects off the wet sand. It must have rained earlier in the day. The announcer's voice resonates throughout the Colosseum, while spectators scream in their excitement. It seems to grow in volume every win. And now, from the heart of the land of the Manticore, with the ferocity of a direwolf and the strength of a giant, he has slain all who oppose him. We have the merciless Rosner of Ticthrim, the dealer of death. The crowd erupts in shouts of bloodlust. Up until a few days ago, their approval of his death tally unnerved him, but now he barely hears them. Even if he does not listen, the thought of them cheering still disgusts him. But it is killed or be killed. And his opponent from the southern reaches of Shenvair, the Swamp Ogre. The crowd doubles their noise, a mixture of cheers and curses as the beast emerges from the other side. Then a portion of the crowd quiets. Rosner senses they are uneasy. He does not blame them. It is a grotesque creature that towers over him, secreting mucus all over his body. But on the other hand, they are not the ones about to battle him. They are here for entertainment. The beast watches Rosner with large, round eyes on an otherwise expressionless face. Rosner shifts the weight of the sword and takes a step forward. A murky green blur sends him back 10 feet. Through the cloud of dust, Rosner watches an array of vines sink back into the ground. Rosner stays on his back as the beast charges and sighs. Great. So he can do magic. He rolls out of the way of a large fist and regains his footing. The beast follows with a backhand. Rosner rolls. He swings his sword low and cuts the calf. The ogre howls in pain as it falls to a knee. Rosner stabs, but the creature swats his sword away, sending it flying. It follows through with a vine thrust, but Rosner knocks them away with his shield. Then he levels the shield with the ogre's head and dazes him long enough to retrieve his blade. They circle. With each step, the ogre's limp lessens. Shadows of Myrane, Rosner swears, more in annoyance than fear. Why does he have to heal himself? Vines shoot out of the ground. Rosner sidesteps and engages. The crowd roars as they exchange blows. After what seems like forever, he distances himself from the beast. The ogre struggles to move amidst the slashes Rosner dealt him. Though Rosner himself has no cuts, his body is covered in bruises, and he thinks he broke a rib or two. The creature watches Rosner, letting himself heal. Rosner sets his jaw and tightens his grip on the sword. Then he charges. If he does not finish this now, it will never end. The ogre waits for him, then swings his giant hand. Rosner rolls to the side, coming up with a wide cut along the beast's side. The ogre howls in pain and collapses to a knee. Before Rosner can follow through, it grabs him around the waist and lifts him up. Rosner stores the tip of the blade into his chest. When the creature refuses to let go, Rosner takes his shield in both hands and slams it down on the ogre's wrist. The second the creature breaks his hold, Rosner rolls behind him and slams the shield behind the ogre's knee. As he falls forward, Rosner jumps on his back. The beast holds him, but he shakes violently. The ogre throws an arm to the side. What follows reflects light. There goes his sword. Frustrated, Rosner slams the shield into the back of the ogre's neck. When the beast does not go down, he repeats it over and over. "Die already!" Rosner shouts, though his words seem strange on his lips. He does not remember the beast falling, or how long he continues to strike after it does, but at some point he retrieves his sword. Only then does he take the full volume of the crowd. They want more. Every bloodthirsty bastard in here wants more. He does not think it can get any louder. Then it does. He turns around slowly, exhausted, and watches a trap door in the floor open to the sky. From it jumps a four-legged beast in full force. With adrenaline still coursing through his veins, Rosner rolls to the side. It is sloppy, though. There is no way he can hide from his exhaustion. But the crowd somehow has more energy than before. Rosner turns to face his adversary, but only sees a blur move towards his head. He hides behind his shield and gets battered around to the point beyond counting. All he knows is that his head begins to spin. He trips over his own feet and falls. The beast follows, pinning him between his shield and the ground. The Life-Giver's glare distorts his vision, so he relies on how the beast shifts his weight. When it moves, he moves a split second later, trying his best to avoid being sliced open, all the while trying to throw the beast off. He cries out when he finally shoves the creature away. Rolling in the opposite direction, he pushes the beast. Just as Rosner finds his footing, the beast lunges. Rosner manages to evade the attack and put some distance between them. A tiger. That is what that soldier called it. Only this one is far larger than Shadow, and far more aggressive. They circle and test each other. The cat lunges. Rosner catches it with his shield and throws it to the side. The beast barely hits the ground before it rakes its claws across Rosner's arms. He drops the sword in shock and pain. Before he can recover, the second paw digs into his shield. Rosner continues to back up, circling the arena. The more he gets battered and tossed around, the angrier he gets. Yet the people love it. It disgusts Rosner even more. "Death take you all," he mutters. The cat lunges. Rosner waits until the last second, then he puts his entire body into the shield as he slams the side of it into the beast's head. The momentum carries him to his knees, but it also disorientates the beast once more. Rosner knows this is his chance to strike, but all his energy has left him. His limbs are like trees, stiff and heavy. His movement is like syrup, slow and sluggish. Yet his eyes remain attentive. Maybe not. Every now and then, the tiger's black stripes blur together, especially at the tip of its tail. He tries to blink away his confusion, but sees a flashback instead, back to when Shadow was playing in a field preying on gophers. He blinks the memory away and peers at his opponent, who finally finds their bearing. Rosner stares at him in disbelief. "By Mirayin, you have to be kidding." The cat lunges. Adrenaline returns to Rosner's veins, and he darts out of the way. The creature's aim is off. It seems the cat has not recovered as much as he originally anticipated. "You know," Rosner shouts so only his adversary can hear. Not that anyone else can hear anyway. "I am really struggling, believing what I am..." thinking right now. Rosner rolls. It would also help if, oh, just let up a moment. The beast continues to bear down on him, forcing him to lash out to keep some space between them. Rosner sidesteps a lunge and makes a long, shallow cut across the cat's flank. Shadow, relax, Rosner says. It is me. Lash. Dodge. Shadow, I know it is you. Shield. Claw. Come on, you stubborn beast. It is Rosner. The cat lunges out. Rosner sidesteps and slashes at his other flank. The cat passes just out of reach, then pounces on him, knocking him to the ground and pins him by his shoulders. He snarls down at Rosner. Rosner cannot shake him off. Then the beast leans forward and sniffs his ear. If you are who you are, then you'll survive what must be done. Rosner barely has a moment to process the words before he rakes Rosner's chest, nicking his throat. His eyes widen in shock and terror, a feeling he has not truly felt in years. He tries to stump the bleeding, but his arms remain pinned to the ground. Even so, he knows it is futile as blood leaks into his throat. Soon, he starts choking on his own blood while he struggles to breathe. During all of this, Shadow, the creature he has grown to love, towers over him until his vision fades to nothing.